In the game of chess, you can never let your adversary see your pieces.
The second reason why atheism is dumb and stupid and foolish is that it's bankrupt morally.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up.
So there's an elitist mentality that forms within atheism. It's an arrogant philosophy. It's a philosophy where people don't have freedom because people are too stupid to exercise that freedom. And to an atheist, they must tell the society how they must live and what they must believe in.
Really?
Horse shit.
Welcome to Project Nihilist, everyone. I came across this short video of a pastor, Tom Brown, talking about atheists. The first thing I noticed is this guy, he's not a bishop, but he wants everybody to call him bishop. You know, like not a doctor wanting to be called a doctor. He has 5 videos in a row explaining why God isn't answering your prayers. And then he says you should treat him with respect because he's a church leader. And what kind of church does he lead? Well, it's one of those hate churches that spout anti-LGBT rhetoric. Anyway, let's get into this video and see what we can learn about atheists.
Atheism is the dumbest philosophy to ever face humanity.
Son of a bit.
Why is it dumb? Why is it stupid? Well, number one, it makes no common sense. We all know that the universe had an origin. There was a time when there was nothing. And we all know it's not possible for nothing to create something.
Yep, this is the level of intellect we're dealing with here. This idiot cost his church $420,000 because he recalled a mayor because they gave gay people health care, and he couldn't abide that, and it set off this 5-year lawsuit. You see, the Pope here lost big, so big that he started a GoFundMe account. Also, he's obsessed with tithing, and if you don't do it, you can still go to janitor heaven and get like a low-paying job and a corner apartment, hell adjacent.
But Jesus said he's going to be least. And in fact, everyone who tells people not to obey me and will be considered least in the kingdom of heaven. And that's serious.
I'm super cereal. Nobody will listen to me about cereal.
This is the kind of stupid stuff that led me to realize how dumb the concept of heaven is. I mean, what does it mean to be lesser or leastest in heaven? Am I not allowed to use the carpool lane? Like when I go out to the club, is my name never on the list? Like no VIP passes for me?
So where did the first elements of the universe come into existence? Well, in order for that to happen, you have to have someone outside the universe make it. That's common sense.
I ain't no physicist, but I knows what matters.
Okay, Professor, this is really embarrassing for you. Why? Well, you obviously lack the ability to do a proper science. All of the matter in the universe comes from within the universe. The deistic God you're talking about didn't fart into a plastic bag and shake it around. We understand these natural processes and how they work. You know, the thunder isn't Thor doing some metallurgy.
The second reason why atheism is dumb and stupid and foolish is that it's bankrupt morally.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Even atheists admit that there is a moral universe, that there is a sense of what's right and wrong.
I kept the crap in my office, nursed it, fed it biddy.
So atheists have to try to grapple with where do we get our sense of ethics and morals.
It's as if some theists haven't spent 30 seconds thinking about this stuff, and then they go around and lie to people and say that we can't explain laws, ethics, and morals. If we had been born to a tribe where they put men and boys to the sword, took slaves, had human sacrifices, and all that's in the Bible, we'd be totally okay with it, especially when speaking out against it would be death and a promise of a shitty afterlife.
So listen, God does bring revenge and vengeance upon people who hurt you.
Really?
Horse shit.
So in the end, without God, then atheists began to change those moral fabrics. And before you know it,
Real wrath of God type stuff. Exactly. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies.
atheists, they adopt a morality based on natural evolution, that only the strong survive. Only the strong rule the weak. Only the smart conquer.
Seriously, Tom, you gotta be kidding me. Your special book is the blueprint for the survival of the fittest. It kills the strong, rules over the weak, and actively eliminates dissonance. I'm actually shocked that you idiots don't take credit for social Darwinism.
And if they cannot convert you, they will kill you.
So what happens is, in the end, unborn babies that are weak and unprotected, slaves that could not fight for themselves, minorities that could not defend themselves. It's too bad. The world is about to end and Jesus Christ is going to come back, is that people are going to be disrespectful to those in spiritual authority. They're going to abuse their pastor. They're going to talk bad about church leaders. They're going to knock down people who are trying to bring people to Christ.
Mommy, why is that man like that?
Is anyone buying into that? Tom gives a shit about Mexicans. According to him, the end is near and the universe is finished, and it's always some old dude trying to scare everyone into compliance.
Had done sometime.
And popping up reminders and links to send him money, and I haven't figured that one out yet. Maybe Tom can answer that age-old question.
What does God need with a starship?
Because in atheism, in the end, it's only the strong that should survive. So everyone else who's weak and sickly should all die and go by themselves, you know?
I speak.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
The Bible literally says that lepers and women on the rag and someone who touches a creeping thing on the ground or squirts on something and you accidentally touch it, you gotta leave the town until you can get a freshwater bath in a place that didn't have running water. Every accusation of Tom's is a confession. We know through his speeches, his actions, his writings, he's the one who's going to cast the first stone. He wants power, control. He's the one who wants to limit our rights and do away with people he don't like. If you don't think and agree with every single thing he says, then you're extra broken, unclean, incleansable, filthy in the Lord's eyes.
And so we have atheism that is weak morally. And the few times that a country decided to implement atheism as its official philosophy, it all turned into communism.
How the hell did that happen?
You heard it here first, gang. We atheists are everywhere. We're taking over entire countries and forming anti-democratic governments because why? We hate Jesus.
Look at the Soviet Union and look at China.
China.
Communism is the natural outgrowth of atheism.
He tasks me, and I shall have him.
Oh no, who'd have thunk of a government hell-bent on totalitarianism wasn't a Christian theocracy? How dare they? Tom appeals to the American secular government to suggest we're the best Christian nation ever, but then he wasted over $400,000 trying to suppress El Paso, Texas's elected officials doing that democracy stuff he pretends to love. But when it doesn't go his way, he needs his binky for like 5 to 7 years.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up.
Because with atheism, there is no freedom. Because to an atheist, they're the smart ones and they should rule the dumb ones.
Hamana, hamana, hamana. Gang, this is why it sucks making YouTube videos on an iPhone. I can only record audio while the app is playing the video that I'm talking about, and the damn audio bar blocks half the screen and I have bad eyesight. See, Tom is a famous author with an infamous book that I'd call an essay. Tom's thesis is titled Homosexuality, the Causes and Cure. And the intro has this Halloween story where him, his sister, and his bestest friend went trick-or-treating. And the dude got a chunk of his leg removed by a dog. And Tom's like, yeah, that's the same thing as being gay. And I totally got over this life-sucking event. Tom isn't even the one who got bit. It was his bestest friend. Tom says he's a heterosexual and that the thoughts of having sex with a man is disgusting to him. And then he goes off the rails and says that it's because he had a normal life that he loves vag, and gay people all are a result of dramatic events, and they all admit it. Then he tells that Halloween story I just told you about. And somehow, if Tom can get over his fear of dogs, gay people can get over their fear of vag, even though he still gets a tingle of apprehension when he hears a dog barking. Tom's book starts with a story of Juan and how he was tricked into officiating this dude's funeral because the sister called him on the phone and begged and said that Juan loved him and his church. But then the boyfriend come up to him and was like, "Hey man, thanks." And Tom furrowed his eyebrows and he looked around and was like, "Damn, this is a total sausage fest." And the paper goes on to say that this is for the Juans of the church. And that's a quote.
So there's an elitist mentality that forms within atheism. It's an arrogant philosophy.
Hey man, you're black.
It's a philosophy where people don't have freedom because people are too stupid to exercise that freedom. And to an atheist, they must tell the society how they must live and what they must believe in.
Really?
Horse shit. I don't know where Lord Tom is coming up with this shit. This is my so-called unalienable rights of free speech and freedom of religion. But this asshole is complaining about it. I've not once suggested silencing this guy or making some prohibition on the stupid shit he believes. Wait, what is it that Tom believes in again?
Yeah, magic.
Evolution, which is Satan's plan to deny God. Evolution and salvation are mutually exclusive.
And so in atheism, when it is practiced, we have seen terrible outcomes.
Fine, let's talk about terrible outcomes, Tom. Did you forget about the Crusades, Inquisition, colonization, where indigenous groups all over the planet were nearly wiped out by Christians through mass murder, attrition, relocation, slavery, forced sterilization, and forcing their religion on all of these groups?
I'm here to tell you the truth. If you're an atheist, you have adopted one of the dumbest and foolish philosophies known to the human race.
Dinosaurs and human beings lived on the earth at the same time.
What, like the Flintstones?
And maybe that's why there's only 4% that even claim that to be atheists.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
A minute ago, Tom said atheists are everywhere, taking over governments. Now he's appealing to popularity, and if his bishop fetish is an indicator of his beliefs, he's a Catholic. And by his logic, there are more Muslims. Therefore, Islam is the one true religion.
Because, as the Bible says, a fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
And he prays!
Of course, if a Libibula says it, then it must be true. It says, I'm a fool, I'm corrupt, vile, I can do no good. I devour God's people as though I'm eating bread, and I'm overwhelmed with dread. My evil doings frustrate the plans of the poor. And some Christians think this garbage will make my brain glitch and get into lockstep with their stupidity, like a foolish child trying to fit into a clique.
It is foolish to embrace atheism.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Check out that mic drop in slow motion. You know, I wouldn't have even made this video except Bishop Chicken Shit here has to turn his comments off because he needs to hide in his little safe space. Also, he begs for money, and fuck it, why not? Hell, send me something on the Cash App at $Project Nihilist. Super easy to do, apparently. Anyway, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Guy next door's a scientist. Think he'd disagree with you big time.
Then that man's not saved.
What's he saying? There were dinosaurs back with Adam and Eve?
I guess.
No way. T-Rex in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve would be running all the time, scared shitless. But the Bible says it was paradise.
You can disagree with evangelicals, but they're great friends of the Jews, because Israel is the Holy Land.
You wait.